Hey everyone, alright, this is day 2. Here are my trades for the day. As you can see, I took quite a few trades today. So start out on Cupper right here, then VWAV, JEM, SVRE, JEM, CELZ. So a few different stocks here. Quite a few trades, which honestly, there's my daily realized P&L. So my rules state that I should stop trading after 3 losses, which makes sense, is a valid rule. And as you'll see later, I made the decision to not stop trading because I wanted more data for my metrics. And I'm not sure if that was the correct idea, to be honest. But I made that decision, and so I'm gonna live with it, and I'll show you guys what I traded today. So those are my trades. Start out with Cupper here. So take a note of the time right now, 6:59 a.m. This is Eastern time. So we're almost at 7. This is Cupper. You see, this is the high of day now. It just barely broke over this previous high. We have the 650 level right here, $6 level right here. These are key levels for psychological support and resistance. So this is interesting. So in the moment, I was not aware of the time being this close to 7. I just didn't really recognize that as important. But as you will see, it is important. So stock moves up, boom, that's high a day, right? So, why am I muted? One sec. Sorry about that. Okay. See if it can hold 650. So seeing if it can hold 650 to high day. Boom, there's 7. Boom, so it tapped that 650, it pulled back quite a bit. So I'm looking for a micro pullback over 650. Right at 650. Boom, there it was. See, there it was, but I didn't get in. And I say I don't want to chase. And what do? I chase. Now, break 7. I said that, and I was conscious of that. Break 7. Nice break 7. So that's a good start, but still I did chase the stock. So now at 7. We're getting some clear resistance here. Pops up a little more. Yeah, I missed the one. It's holding 7 a little bit. It's breaking. Okay, so now you know, now it's breaking a bit. Something else popped up. There's another little pop. Yeah, but it didn't hold. So right now this is a 5-second. Tomorrow I am going to move the 5-second chart. I believe that I'm going to only use the 1 minute and the 5 minute, and you'll see that later as to why. But basically I got kind of psyched out from this chart a couple times today, and that made me take poor trades. So I would rather just use the 1 minute chart and get really good at recognizing the 1 minute chart, and using the level 2 rather than using the 5-second, because it's just too quick. You can get mixed signals, you know, it's difficult. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that in a bit. It's really nice volume. So right now we have a little tweezer top. Good volume here. Low flow. Third leading gap, US company. Yep. This is a different symbol. I'll pull it up in a bit, I think.
Yeah, it's a double top. I think we're looking for a 1 minute reversal now.
Right off of 680 forward, right off the 10-second 90 MA.
Yeah.
CUPR. Yeah. So there was a nice little pop up there, but you got this breakout, this false. So it's
trade this one too well.
It's hard.
It's a little too extended for me to get in for anything below 1 minute pullback.
I agree. Wait for the 1 minute pullback.
Okay,
and that's the kind of discipline I need to really stick with the 1 minute chart. In the 5 minute chart, as you can see, the 5 minute chart is good to recognize like the longer trend. So this is in an uptrend. I mean, it's in a pretty obvious uptrend. It broke over the previous high, which is where that kind of 650 is. So that's what I should use the 5 minute chart for.
Volume is high.
Yep.
Right? Well, it's not quite.
So there it is now. There's the flow relative volume.
Good job, Kenny.
Yeah, I got in on a micro pullback. I saw it pop up. I purchased a VIX, but it sold for a loss part. And then when it popped again, I purchased all again.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Now it's going.
So I missed that pullback there. I chased. Let's be honest. That was a horrible chase, right? That was pure chase, pure FOMO. So this could have been a good entry right here at the $7, and that's what I was watching. See how it tops? So, ideally the break right there, you get in. Now, hindsight is 20/20, but really what I should have done is been more aware of this time. Be aware that there's 2 seconds left on this candle, and been watching the ask over here, because as we see, there's a gap from 7 to 7:11 and 25. Then there's a pretty big gap on the sell side, on the ask. So if it pulls up, I see 7 here, or 7:01, I should be a buyer, right? So boom, there, it's immediately 7.8, 7.18, right? So I definitely missed that, and then I chase. So I got in there 7.17 on the ask. That's where I got filled. So yeah, I chased. It's a bad trade. That's really all there is to it. There's a little bit, because it's kind of a shorter pullback, I find those to be a little bit more difficult. Although it was a fresh 5 minute breakout, I do find that whenever they have a shorter consolidation period, and anybody can, debate me on this, that I'm such a beginner. This is just from my observations, what I think I've seen. Whenever there's a shorter pullback, it really seems like these are more likely to get false breakouts, relatively speaking. So what I mean more by that, I think, is whenever it's extended off the 9 EMA. So the 9 EMA is right here at 650. So yeah. Kind of talking about how you manage risk.
I've been noticing is that if there's a pullback that's only like one red candle, it very often has a false breakout.
Yeah, so that's what I was just talking about.
Like, if the pullback is too small and it's too extended off the 9 EMA, I feel like it very often does a false breakout.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been seeing so far.
Yeah.
Red volume's a little bit higher right there.
A little false break. took that trade and got cooked.
I took another loss.
I did get cooked. So right here, this 650 was the previous like pivot point. It was right around the highs. It was a little bit over the highs. You see these highs are probably 640, somewhere in there. So this should be a supply zone now.
I'm in the sim. I took it off of, or I tried to take it at 650. I got filled at 662. I'm risking off of 640.
So we should have support here right around 650. Ooh, but it broke. Ooh, that's pretty nasty, right? So I think maybe one way we can kind of spot this a little earlier is by looking at the level 2. The bid and the ask up here update a little bit quicker than here. That's why they're there. So you see right there, 653 on the bid, 655, 54, there, boom, straight to 640 on the bid. That's bad. That is really bad. So that's an indication of a pretty big sell-off. And then, I mean, it just keeps going down. So that's tough. That's why I find dip trading really difficult.
Okay, so essentially that, but I think the ABS was slightly cleaner as far as the way the candles look. Is exactly what happened to me earlier.
Yeah.
It looked good. It had a nice huge spike.
So let's see. You know, we're kind of just going across other symbols. Now this is JEM. This is the stock that I think it was the top. Yeah, I think it was the top gapper. It had a lot of attention on it, you know. But yeah, so it's right. Oh, sorry about that. Let's just pull this up so we can watch this. So whenever I pull it up, it's right at high day. So it just made a new high barely. The previous high was like 357. This high is 358. It was literally a 1 cent high. So it basically just double topped the high. Yeah. So watching for a squeeze up through 358, up to 4.
Take a starter before the breakout of 4.
Yep. That's what I was saying. Look for the break of 4. But yeah, I mean, it just, there's too much. Now, this ticker had very high short interest, which I asked one of the guys in the group about early, and so that's a good sign that you could get a short squeeze. But that means that at high day, they're going to hammer it. So, because that's right where their stops are. So, volume is bad. You know, I mean, it happens. I guess. It's a little difficult. So, kind of here, waiting. So it's pulling back, but it's not dumping. The volume is pretty bad, but it's not a crazy huge move. So there the green candle is going back.
See if we can get break at 375.
I'm kind of looking for it to, you know, break high days. But right around here, it's the top of this candle. So that's candle over candle. Kind of, it's feeling there's a pop. 350. Boom. Jeez, look at that. So that, I mean, had to be some kind of short squeeze. And then they hammered it all the way back. Because look at that. Look at that. That is a huge volume candle on the 5 second.
Shorts very well could be covering.
So shorts could be covering this. It's holding 350 now. So See if we can base out. We got 10 seconds left on this candle. Okay. So we're still looking for the 375, 4. Nice, okay. A little bit of strength there. Volume is good here. Nice new high. Nice. There's 4. Tapped it. Not breaking though. And that's a big pullback. That's a big pullback. So this would be very difficult to trade. Yeah. Really hard to time it. So now we have a big topping tail here. We're about to close the 5-minute candle as well. So the 5-minute candle will have a topping tail. We kind of need it to, yep. Yep, the topping tail is a bearish indicator. We're seeing if it can pull up, but you know. Yep, so 350 should be the pivot here. Previous high day, and then right here you get the topping tails. This would have been a beautiful entry. Right here.
The 350 marker pullback would have been a good entry, although it wasn't it was right under high day, so I don't know. Maybe that's a little risky.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's too much risk or not, but I mean, you have the psychological level 350, which is good.
If you were to take this right around here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. It's right here.
Right here. So you're gonna get in right around here.
So
right up to 4.
I don't know. Maybe that would have been the right entry.
The selling pressure right here very well could flush down on you.
Candle over candle on the 1 minute. That's
tough.
That's good. I would love to have the confidence to take those and to be able to track them, because I think that's a setup that I could do pretty well at. So now it's breaking 350 a little bit, but it kind of, there's a little bit of buyers coming in there. So let's watch 350. We wanted to hold 350. A small pop. There's a pop. Let's see if I can break out here and go back up to high day. See?
You know, I do such a bad job of not getting in.
Yeah, I don't do a great job at getting in the right times.
So right here might have been an entry off the 350. So we see this.
I don't know, man. That's
level here. You're looking at 350 is your support. You also have the 90 MA right there, so it's a relatively safe entry. Just because of risk of flushing all the way down seems to be.
That's hard
because there's so much support right here.
It seems like it's hard to time though.
As well as this would become a supply zone from the last candle wicks.
Because this is the high.
So
let's see what happens. So looking at 350 is kind of that. Okay, so it's holding a little bit. So it didn't succeed there. And then it kind of breaks and, you know. It's hard to time. So first and second pullback, like the dips, are likely to have a higher success rate than the third. That's basically just all I'm saying there. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. It's kind of just fluttering, really. You know, there's not a whole lot. And then I kind of just go back and look at the, you know, price action and see maybe what was working and what's not back here. So pulling it up, you know. So yeah, that's JM. I didn't take any trades. I really, you know, this goes back to Copper. I really should have taken this trade here off 350. I feel like that's a trade that I can learn how to take and it can be successful for me. So those were my first trades on Copper, and then the look at JM. So this is some more JM. So it's breaking high a day now. This might have been what we just watched, actually. Yeah, so this is what we just watched. Okay. So I didn't need to do that. VWAV, I believe.
Oh, it is high day.
So VWAV hits my high day scanner. Aerospace. SpaceX is the theme, you know, so.
Just the next generation enterprise.
We'll see, there's not enough volume. The spread's too big to take it here. I mean, it's just crazy.
My news is all messed up.
Yep, so my news widget on Charts Watcher was messed up, and just because I accidentally messed it up, but I spent the time that we had to take a good trade. I spent that making the news widget okay, and that was a really bad idea. So my attention is all on the screen above this screen, and I'm really not watching this stock at all. So then boom, we get this. So the volume's starting to come in. There's 550. It's holding 550. See if we can get pop up to 6. There's 6. It's holding, breaking and holding 6. Boom.
Okay.
There's up to 650. And now I'm just like, bro, why did I spend my time fixing this news thing when I could have traded this, you know? So I was pretty upset at myself there.
Holy.
So yeah, I'm just like, wow, this is a crazy move from 750.
Breakthrough 750.
Can I get breakthrough 750? Jeez, look at that. So I got in for the breakthrough 750. I expected it to be just like the other breaks that we had. Now I wasn't watching it super carefully, but I saw that, you know, it broken on 550, broken held 6, broken held 650, broken held 7. See if it can break and hold 750, right? So I got in 758. That was right here, by the way. And then it has a pretty hard rejection, so I just cut it. I'm scared. I'm full of fear.
It's only got 50-cent swings. What are you?
Yeah, huge swings. I got cooked on it. So now it's starting to consolidate a little bit on the micro pullback. There's still a huge range, but so still looking for that break of 750. And now here is, I think, my biggest issue. I have not been super aware of the time, and we often see whenever this 1 minute candle closes and the next one opens and gets a candle over candle, that is such an amazing move. And I've just been missing it recently because I am focused on the 5-second chart, and I think that's really foolish. I think it would have been so much better for me if maybe I wasn't messing with my news widget. I was watching the level 2 rather during these pullback areas here, you know, watching the bid and the ask and a little bit of the stacking up here, looking at the time and sales, seeing, you know, what the the price action with the movement is telling me, and I probably could have caught some of those micro pullbacks here maybe, for like the breakouts and stuff like that. I don't really know. I feel like that's a riskier type of trading, but I think I would like to get to that point sometime, right? So now we see this candle close, super high volume. I mean, it's just beautiful green candle. This, stock is now the second or third leading gapper, right? I really should have just waited for this 1 minute candle over candle. So waiting here, I have plenty of time. So looking for the break of 760, boom, pull back over, nice, it's holding, add there, scale out. Let's see what happens. Can't break 850, 859, scale out there at 9. Nice, scale out some more.
10-second pullback.
You know, I think that's a better way to trade. Now it's almost at 10. It's almost at 10. My entry was 750, right? So that, is irritating for sure. But you see the risk to reward here. If you get in right around here for the break through the high of this candle, this is going to be your stop. So you have a set stop. What's hard on the micro pullbacks often is you don't really have a set stop. So I kind of thought it would, it would hold, what was it, 750? It would hold 750 or at least 7, and then it would go up, but it broke below that a little bit and I sold, and that kind of just stopped me out. But I think it would be a lot less stressful and a lot easier to get the hang of trading this pattern than the one on the 5 second, just because it's so choppy. So yeah, I mean, that's a crazy big move. In 2 minutes, it's up 100%. That is remarkable. Right. So,
good idea, Vito.
It's really difficult, and it hurts my confidence a lot to see these moves and then see how I butchered them. So now at this point, I'm looking at the daily chart. I'm seeing like where resistance is and where support would be. So if we can get a nice pop and hold, and if we get the pullback here, really looking for a bull flag pullback here. So, I mean, we'll see, but I'm kind of
200 EMA right around 770.
Yeah, so the 200 is now holding some support. So that's right here is the 200, which explains why there's some resistance here, and it also explains if there's going to be more support here, which there's a little bit of support. So, I mean, it's tough. Trading is so hard. And look at that, like the candle's supposed to open here and it just opens there. That's just how crazy the momentum is. And
like it doesn't even load, it just jumps up.
It's so hard to trade this. So, one thing I'm doing, and I made a note of one thing I want to improve tomorrow, is trading the 1 minute candle over candles.
He's not holding
and really studying the 1 minute chart and learning it like the back of my hand. That's what I wrote, because I think it would be better to be a master of the 1 minute and miss some of the entries on the 10 second or the 5 second. But I still, the opportunities present themselves every day, and I have the capital, the buying power. Like I could take a $3,000 position,
That's literally what
on something like this. That could be
at 750 out at 680.
That could be an amazing trade. Now I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna risk that much capital.
So irritating.
But it's not like I'm running into any liquidity issues or anything like that. So I would rather size up and take less trades, but then be higher accuracy, better trades that I'm confident in, than to kind of trade everything. But right now I'm in a hard period of building my metrics. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that's gonna happen with this. So we're gonna skip fast forward a little bit, bouncing off 7 a bit. Once again, 770. So in this candle, I was like kind of asking the people in the chat if they were interested in the break of 8 targeting 850 and then 9. So if this were to break this 8 level, break the VWAP, hold up here, and then get a squeeze back up, but it just didn't happen. It failed, right? So it's failing, it's falling down.
So
I'm just trying to process how I could have traded this better, and I think ultimately I would have done better if I was more aware of the time and I were to trade off the 1 minute instead of going to the 5 second. So those are things I'm gonna work on tomorrow. So that was that trades. Now we go these trades right here. SVRE, let's pull these up. So this right here, it was stupid. It was so stupid. I bought in, 720. That was like somewhere in here. And I was basically just like, I have FOMO, and I've seen these they consolidate for a long time and then they just magically break out. So I kind of bought just expecting it to break out one way or another, and hopefully that would be up, and I held for a long time. And it was a dumb trade, right? It was a gamble. But then we have SVRE pop up, and so immediately, this is up, right? This is up 40% now, and like pretty much immediately, right? This, 30 seconds. So it's hot, it has news. There was a low float on it, I believe. It's the right price range. So we're looking at it. This is good stock. And of course, rather than looking at the stock to actually trade it, I'm worrying about my broker platform and moving all my stuff around to reorganize, and I don't know why, and then I missed the whole move. That was a rant, but I'm upset at myself for not being focused enough on this. Trading as hard as it is, why should I? It requires my attention. And right there, also, you see this candle over candle pattern. Now, it kind of just popped up and popped down. That was super quick. But that's what I should be looking for, I should be right here. I should be counting, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or whatever until the candle closes. And then once it pulls back there, that's confirming that buyers are going to step in. And then that will be my stop loss. So if it goes below that, then I get stopped out. And then my entry should be the break. So right there, I should be watching here, but I'm too fixated on the 5 second and all that. So there's a lot to work on. I think I could have gotten an entry there. I probably would not have sold any into here. I probably would not be that quick. I'd probably get filled down here. But the opportunity is present. And I think that's the kind of trades I need to take, especially because the market's a bit hotter. If I take a micro pullback, it needs to be that. I don't think I can take any micro pullbacks off the 5 second. I just don't think it's smart. I don't think it works well. So, it wouldn't be in it anymore. High volume now, and this is still 20 seconds to close. So you guys kind of spinning top forming here. That's a big wick here, big wick here. That's bearish because it popped up and got slammed back down, but there's a little bit of buying support coming in there. So it's not a straight dump, but So we'll see. So here we're looking for really a bull flag. I mean, this would be the first 1 minute pullback, right? And it's a little bit hard to predict that whenever this candle has a huge top and it's just kind of crazy choppy price action. So I'm trying to use my fib retracement tool, which has been helpful to increase my profit to loss ratio. That's something I've been working on because it's really bad right now. It's like 0.4 or whatever. So I essentially am losing $2.50 to make $1, right? So that's not good. So I want it to be 2 to 1, but it's inverted 2 to 1 right now, basically. So this is hard because do I get in here at the new high a day, even though, like, what's my risk? You know, all the way down here at 5, or do I just not take the trade, or do I buy it off the lows here? Do I buy it as this candle closes and it starts to move back up? I don't know. You know, I really don't know. That's something I need to work on. I think it could be, you know, I don't know. I don't have the metrics to support it right now. I think it could be wise to, you know, have your stop here at 450 right below this candle. And once this candle closes, you get that bottom wick. That's a good sign. And then once this starts to go back up and you see the green coming in and you see green on the tape, you know, you're looking at the level 2, you start adding, but you don't just buy straight up here because you can't manage your risk really. Unless you do a breakout bailout, but you know, then you could easily get caught back holding on this. So I don't know. So today I fixated way too much on the 5 second. That's like my biggest takeaway. I'm literally gonna remove it tomorrow and try to focus on the level 2 and the 1 minute only. So yeah, now here, this could have been nice. So we're making new high days, right? We got 2 seconds left on this candle. So 2, 1, it closes, and then now we're looking for it to make a candle over candle, right? Boom, big pop, and you got 650 as your support right there. So that is advanced trading for sure. That's something I would like to be good at though, is kind of taking this right off 650, adding into the break of this, and then, you know, targeting 7. Can we break 7? Boom. See if we can get up to 750. You know, there's a little resistance there. Still holding 7. And then cut it there, you know. I guess, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. Hindsight's 2020. I'm a beginner. I'm learning. So it's hard. I think I should fixate more on the 1 minute. So now we're looking for the second pullback. This leg didn't give quite as much as we were hoping for, mostly just because there's this huge wick. But we're looking for another bull flag kind of pullback entry here. So 550, this would be a pivot, you know, so I need to be more aware of that. I'm not sure how much to consider, like all these wicks and stuff. That's something I'm struggling with. So you see the candles are closing right at this 550, right? So, and you see buyers stepping in here. So that could be a support level. That could be a good level for a dip. I'm not really sure how to do that, but you know, that could be. Let's see, now that's your support. So now you have the candle pull back here. You have the green confirmation here. You also had it on the time sales. So this could be an entry, I think, for maybe over the break of VWAP, although the VWAP on these charts are off. So really just as it's coming in, you're risking off 550. You're getting in, before 6. Can you get the break of 6? Let's see. I mean, it's fluttering there. Can we get a break of 6? There's 608 on the S. 605, 606. It's holding.
Next target is 615 up to 7.
It's holding. Can we get up to 650? So it's tough. It's really difficult. And psychologically, it's so hard. So now we're starting to see it pull away a bit. $6.25, gonna break $6.25. There we go. Now we're looking for $6.50. Nice. Now we're looking for 7. 7. Nice. High day. Sell half there. Scale out. Okay. Now we're gonna wait for the candle to close below the low of the previous candle to get a clear exit indicator. That's how I should trade. I mean, or scale somewhere out here. I don't know exactly, but I do need to learn the 1 minute chart more than anything else. I'm gonna dedicate my time to learning it because I think that would build a lot of confidence too. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with trading off the 5 second or the 10 second chart. I just think I'm too new to do that. Also, you see I added the clock here. That was just so I can be aware of whenever I'm taking these 5 second entries, I'm aware of the time and I want it to be right after a full minute closes. So that's why I added there. So now we're waiting for a pullback, see what happens. So now, this 650 level seems like a pivot, right? Because this is kind of where you got some topping tails and stuff. So this should be supply now. Or this should be demand, I mean. So you should be able maybe buy some dips there. This candle's about close. So there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Holding, maybe take a starter there. Nice. Pop up. Add there, maybe. It's not really working. Give it a little time. It's not working. Cut it. So I can definitely improve my selling because you see I got a 615. That's horrible. My stop should have been like 640. I could watch that on the bid, but really I'm watching the charts now. I need to watch more on the level 2. Anyways. Yeah, I'll have another important feedback here, which is this was the 3rd 1 minute pullback. Typically, the 1st and 2nd pullbacks on any time frame are going to be cleaner. And I think I should pretty much altogether erase taking 3rd pullbacks.
It's for the metrics.
I also say it's for the metrics because I took 3 losing trades in a row.
Doesn't work.
Yep.
And that's what I learned.
Yep.
So let's
so here I'm just starting to journal it and all that. But I had the 3 losses in a row. Maybe I should have been done, but I stayed. And to build the metrics. And that taught me a valuable lesson, which is do not trade the 3rd pullback. It's not clean. And you also get lower, pretty light buying volume here. I mean, this isn't a huge move. You get higher selling volume here. Like, that's not, realistically, that's not a great trade. It's an okay trade, but it's not great. It's probably going to be a loser more times than it's a winner, especially for me right now. So, yeah, so now I'm just kind of reviewing other stuff and kind of talking about strategy. Talking about that one bad trade I had on JEM in this consolidation. I'm kind of talking about, hyper scalpers, they will trade that. Like they'll kind of buy here, sell here, buy here, scale out, buy, scale out, buy, scale out until you get that pop in one direction or another. And if it goes down, then they cut it. If it goes up, then they just scale out. But I don't think that's going to be my strategy. I think I need really fast momentum and just the first and second legs, especially first and second 1 minute. I'll trade the candle over candle in the 1 minute, but ideally I'm looking for a red candle, bull flag, trade that, buy the dip where the pivot is and add into the pop-up. So it's tough, man. This trading is like mentally one of, if not the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, it's so difficult. And I'm just kind of talking about metrics here a little bit. So I'm a loser, I am a big fat loser right now. So
I don't have really enough data to say, oh, this is working yet. Now, although that summary says this isn't working, right? That's what my summary says. But I mean, I have my journals, my calendar,
So it's kind of sharing. Yesterday was only 20 cents red, and it was a missed trade. You can watch that. That'd be day one on the new series. So yeah, they're not big red days at all. I'm preserving my capital well. I don't want to. There's no reason for me to, size up and start losing $10, $20, $30 a day. There's no reason. I'm learning the same lessons from taking 2 shares as I would 200. So I'm just trying to build the confidence in the track record first, and then I'll start scaling up as I see my equity curve, starting to work. So just going through my metrics. Win rate's bad, I need to have more metrics. And today, I learned a lot. It was a great day, My P&L might not reflect that. I didn't quite follow my rules of 3 trades you're out, but I made a business decision to trade some more to collect some more data, and I'm super small size, and that's just the small price I'm gonna pay to learn. So yeah, but here's my metrics and stuff. I'm not profitable by any means. We'll go more into that in later episodes, and I'll probably do some things on the weekend, like some weekend review or something. So SVRE is popping up again.
But as far as this one, I got
Kind of just reviewing the trade that I took. I just let it go, I think. Yeah, I don't take any more trades on this. I just let it go. I'm emotionally compromised. Try to figure out the whole, micro pullback thing, and in hindsight, I should just really stick to the 1 minute and the 5 minute. I think I'd have less stress and more, consistency there. But anyways, and then the last trades of the day, we're gonna go through this kind of quick.
JEM just broke high day.
So JEM popping up again right at 9. Take a second to pull it up. Huge pop. I mean, look at that. So $4 right here was the last high. It breaks 4. You get this micro pullback here. This could have been a great entry. I don't want to speed this up for y'all. Sorry.
you get pop over 5, hold at 5, holding 5, scale down to 550.
That's amazing.
So what I did there was a pop and hold of 5, micro pullback at 5, looking for 550. And while it's a little bit of a chase, it doesn't really fit what I would, typically do. It's a good thing to track my metric for it. I did sell the other one pretty much at break even. I probably held too long, but I'm a super small size, so I don't really care too much. Kind of looking at it, it had this super nice breakout. I mean, look at that. This is a 5-minute chart down here on the left. It's beautiful, right? Yeah, $2 pop. So let's see. We're just talking now. A huge topping tail on it. Waiting for some red. Looking for a bull flag here. It's pulling back quite a bit. 9 EMA. It's extended off the 9 EMA. This, $4 would be the real pivot point. So it still is a bit extended. I was looking right here for the bull flag to get the squeeze through this level. It didn't work. I cut it quick, pretty simple. So that was JEM. Pops, it goes down, and pops, it goes down, and then just dumps. So CE LZ broke 2. It's breaking and holding 2. It's at high day. It's another stock. It's up quite a bit. Up 100%. Look at that. So this would have been the top gainer at the time, I believe. Maybe the second to JEM.
You probably want it to break 250.
Yep. Probably want it to break 250.
Target up to around 330 or 325.
Target 330, 325. So that's based on daily levels mostly, and also just psychological $0.50. So I kind of miss it there, I kind of miss what I was talking about there. I could have probably bought anticipating the break, small size. This is a bit riskier of a trade. And maybe added here, looking for the squeeze up through 3. It's not, it's kind of consolidating. There we go. See if it can break and hold 3.
Yeah, I should have bought.
Add for the break at 3.
I should have bought for that 250 there.
Yeah. Break at 250. Could have taken a star there. Pretty big topping tail. I chased. That's a stupid entry. Let's be so honest. That's a stupid entry. I'm not buying off support. I'm 16 cents a risk. 32 cents would be my profit target. That's, it's honestly unrealistic. The momentum's settling down. You see this topping tail. That's a bearish indicator. It's just not a good trade. Let's be honest. So I use this for hope. Really all it is. I'm just hoping that it'll work now. Saying, and now I'm saying, that's a super unrealistic profit target. Let me just see if I can make it kind of realistic. And I basically get to the point where it's just too weak. I regret entering. So, and it breaks there, so I just cut it. So, yeah. Those are my trades today. I did take that trade there. So this would have been, this kind of preparing a bull flag entry, candle over candle high. I got in late. I was like, I realized that, so I just got out immediately. It's tough, man. It's really tough.
Yeah, it definitely was.
It's tough. This is difficult terrain. Trading is hard. Trading is risky. I lose money. I'm not good. I can, fill out my journal, do my metrics. I do all this stuff, and At the end of the day, this is helpful, but it's really on me to actually take the trades. And I even yesterday's one thing I want to improve on tomorrow was just take the trade. That's all I wrote. Take the trade. And today I took the trade, and that's good because I'm able to use that to build metrics. But as I continue to build my metrics, I really need to. Okay. That's okay. I can't pull up my metrics right now. That's fine. I really need to focus on what's working and lean into that and just leave the stuff that's not working. So, thank you guys for watching. I know this is kind of a long video. I'm sorry about that. It's mostly just for my journal. Hopefully you got something out of it. Yeah, check the description for my bull flag trading playbook. I'm going to update this a bit. I feel like there's a little bit too much information in here. But the goal is to have a very clear entry rules and to have a live trading journal. This helps, manage your emotions, feel out the market. And then some of these things, like a great thing about the community that we have on WAP is we trade and talk live together. So we're able to call out things like, oh, this is an Israel stock, be careful. Just because we've seen those pop and drop recently, or Singapore, or Chinese. Now, it's not like this is a little bit strict. I still trade these stocks. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But it's really a be careful on those. But we can call out things like, oh, the price is too high. Oh, the float, is too high. Oh, the sector, what is trucking sector gonna, that's not gonna be very bullish. Oh, the spread's super big. So that's something great about this. This can help you, especially as a beginner, you fill it out. It can help you notice the things that you should be looking for while you're trading before you take a trade. But at the end of the day, it's all on you in the moment. This is great. It's some emotional regulation. So before I trade, I do these visualization exercises simply just to prepare myself. It's not some new age stuff that's going to change your life. It's just, to prepare, become familiar with discomfort. And so this Tom Hugard has a great book, Best Loser Wins. That's kind of where I got this information from and made this. So yeah, those will all be in the description. We'll have a link to our community on WAP in the description. Let me pull it up real quick. This is our community. Check it out. We got this learning library in here. It has so much amazing stuff. As if you're brand new, this is going to point you on the best track possible, and save you as much time and money as possible for your learning. We have a lot of free resources in here. We do these chart reviews and analysis. It's great just to, see what others are thinking. We share our metrics, journals, all that. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Feel free to check out all those stuff. Huge shout out to Jesse Nelson and Brendan Hogan for, really inspiring me to make these reviews. So yeah, trading is risky. My results are typical because I'm a loser, Right now I am losing money. And it's part of the journey. Don't expect to come into this and win immediately. It will take time.